Hey everyone, this is Tony Reeves. If you like my content or have any suggestions, please let me know, and by all means, make sure you share. The only way I can get my word out is you help me get the word out as well. Hey everyone, this is Tony Reeves, and this is Reeves Point of View. I'm sometimes asked at one point in time, should I think about hiring an attorney? Let me tell you 3 times when you should give serious thought to hiring an attorney. The first time is at the very beginning of any process. Most people, when they're hiring or thinking about hiring an attorney, they're usually thinking about it from a cost standpoint. They're really worried about how much they're going to spend. So what ends up happening is that they spend a great deal of time focusing on trying to do it themselves. I can tell you that one of my mentors once told me the most expensive time to hire an attorney is after you started the case on your own. In part because what happens is that they have to now go back and retrace everything that you did. And most importantly, if you did something wrong or made your circumstance worse, they're spending more time and energy trying to correct all the things that you've done. So really, from a cost-effective standpoint, the best thing to do is to get an attorney at the very beginning of the process, because they typically know the shortcuts and the ins and outs and ways of doing things that may save you money, as opposed to spending all of your time doing it yourself and then having to have them come back and have to undo everything. As soon as you realize that you need help. For those persons who end up taking on a case on their own, what ends up happening is that after a period of time, as they go through the process, maybe early in the process it's fairly easy, whether it be filing pleadings in courts, filling out documents, things of that nature. That tends to be the easiest part of the process. But as you get deeper in the weeds, whether they be discovery requests, whether it be handling motion hearings, whether it be mediations, whether it be negotiations, you may find yourself being overwhelmed because you're weeding into areas that you don't feel very comfortable in handling. At that particular point, once you start realizing that maybe you have a grip on what's going on, but you maybe need somebody with some more expertise, that's probably a really good time to bring an attorney on. Which leads me into my third one, when you realize you don't understand what you're doing. Sometimes when you're doing stuff, you're thinking early on, all I have to do is file this, they'll respond and keep it moving. But what ends up happening is that when you start looking at documents and you start realizing you don't understand what they're talking about, they're using what we call legalese or words or language that is not familiar to you or you don't feel comfortable in addressing, you may freak out because you may not be sure if you're making your case worse based on what you're doing. Once you start to realize when you get into the thick of things that you don't understand anything that you're dealing with, even though you've started on your own, that's probably a pretty good time to hire someone. I understand the desire to want to keep your costs down, and sometimes hiring an attorney can be a very expensive proposition. But if you're in a situation where certain rights and things that you're trying to get back for yourself, you don't want to put yourself in a worse position when there is legal resources out there that could help you put you in the best position.